everyone, live from CNN London. I'm Hannah Vaughan-Jones, in for Hala Gorani Tonight. Rebels, 7 lawmakers compound Britain's political chaos as they walk out of the opposition Labour Party. Digital gangsters, the scathing report on Facebook as it's accused of deliberately violating data privacy laws and levelling the playing field or violating human rights. A double Olympic champion's battle to compete without medication for her elevated testosterone levels. Thank you for joining us on the programme. You have been in British politics for some time now, and in that time you will have seen your fair share of defections from one party to another. Indeed, you've been involved in it yourself. Do you relish, though, days like this, Sir Vince, not just as a parliamentarian, but as a party leader?
Well, I think it is potentially very positive in opening up British politics in a way that hasn't been possible for a long time.
So, Vince, I wonder if, after hearing what Chukwuemeka had to say, this is actually the demise of an effective opposition now in British politics, that today has been nothing less than a very, very good day for the British Prime Minister, Theresa May.
Well, I think that's a very tactical, short-term way of looking at it. Clearly, if the Labour Party splits, then in the short run, the Conservatives benefit. But the Conservative Party is itself very, very divided.
It would be amiss of me not to mention that Honda has announced that, well, we think it is likely that it will close its only British car plant by 2022. Thousands of jobs at stake. Something to put a dent in what is otherwise a very good day for Theresa May.
Well, it's terrible news. I mean, I was the business secretary. I visited Honda when at that time. The car industry was one of the great success stories of the British economy. It was booming. It's now in decline. There are several reasons for it, and we don't know exactly what has motivated Honda, but the fact that we're losing access to the European market, we're not able to cement the EU-Japan agreement into British law, the Trade Secretary's failed to do that. I think these are all factors which have made Britain a much less attractive place to be.
But just finally, though, with time obviously running out, might you be persuaded to join the 7 colleagues who have left the Labour Party today, just because, you know, we are just running down the clock? Some would argue, at least, the government is running down the clock until March 29th.
The government certainly is running down the clock until March the 29th, and we in the Labour Party are doing our very best to stop the catastrophe of a no Brexit.
And would you do that outside of the Labour Party?
I certainly won't be going anywhere outside of the Labour Party.
What's Huawei saying about this? Presumably good news for them if the UK does indeed carry on using its products.
Well, Huawei even turned it around and said maybe the US is pushing so hard because they won't have American companies, their equipment, to be able to spy on people. Classic China.
OK, Samuel Burke, thanks very much.
The Syrian Democratic Forces are confident that there will be an American presence in this part of the country, he said, well beyond the end of this year. So there may be some wiggle room there. Hannah?
All right, Ben Wiedemann, live for Sarah in eastern Syria. Thanks, Ben. Just explain to our viewers, then, why this case of Caster Semenya is rocking the entire sports world, not just the athletics field.
Hannah, because 30, 40, 50 years from now, we might be looking at this week and say this was a watershed moment. Why is that? Because if Caster Semenya wins, and there are many people who believe, I could make that argument too, that she should win. Born this way, higher level of testosterone, it's the way she was born. Is there racism involved? All sorts of questions on her side. But if she wins, then the question becomes, and others have talked about this as well, if that higher level of testosterone is allowed, will it be unfair? Is it an unfair playing field for the women who have the lower testosterone naturally in their bodies?
Martina Navratilova, of course, multiple Grand Slam champion in tennis, has waded into this debate as well. She tweeted back in December, and I'm paraphrasing here, because she's since deleted the tweet, I should say, Christine, but she said, you can't just proclaim yourself a female and be able to compete against women. There must be some standards. She goes on to say, having a penis and competing as a woman would not fit that standard. Martina Navratilova effectively saying that people who deliberately try and alter their hormone levels, their testosterone levels, without going through with full surgery to become transgender, become male or female, that they are cheating the system.
Well, and you could make that strong case. So this actually would be very different, as you said, from Castor Semenya. She was born this way.
Right.
But if this ruling goes in her favor, does it open the floodgates for those who want to try to cheat? Again, it sounds outlandish, but with what we've seen in world sport, East Germany, Soviet Union, et cetera, over the years, the amount of cheating that's gone on, the United States, Lance Armstrong, Marion Jones, what would prevent someone from then taking this ruling, which might be intended just for Castor Semenya and a positive outcome for her, and taking it and using it to their own nefarious advantages?
I can imagine critics of Mr. Trump screaming, First Amendment, it's satire, take a joke.
I mean, satire is one of the reasons that America is great. It's one of the things that makes America great. And if you come with the job of being president, you kind of understand that that is a part of the job description.
Well, he's definitely watching. Frank, we have to leave it there. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. And thank you for watching tonight. Stay with us here on CNN. Crest Means Business is coming up next.